Good morning. It's morning here. I have a little bit left of coffee that I'm drinking, and I'm going to be taking my granddaughter to school here. But I thought I would do the first week of Cortney's The Divine Feminine, since that is what our community collaboration is all about. So I picked some decks, but I thought maybe we could. There's actually another one I'm looking at too. Let me grab that. Oh, where are you? Where are you? Yes, here we go. This one. You will not recognize these because these came from my sister, and I did start recording a tarot haul, and I only got through 10 decks because she gave me a total of 50, but 5 of them went to my youngest daughter, Taylor, and another one of mine that I decided to let go. So I gave her 6 decks yesterday, and then my middle daughter, Faith, who I usually give all my tarot to in general because she loves tarot a lot, I gave her a couple decks. And yeah, so these 3 plus 7 more I showed you in a haul. You just haven't seen the video yet. So, but let's talk about the divine feminine. It's a sacred, life-giving force, and it flows through all of creation. It's intuitive, nurturing, receptive, and deeply connected to the rhythms of nature and the soul. She shows up in our everyday lives, which is something that, even when we're doing mundane things, that's what's so beautiful and so surprising, to the greatest things, like Cortney talked about in her video, which all of that will be linked here too. Like being a death doula. That's exactly what it, divine feminine is. And it's just, whew, that really hit me hard when she said that. It lives its compassion, its creativity, its emotional wisdom, and the power to hold space for transformation. Whether it's expressed through gentleness or fierce protection. The divine wisdom reminds us that softness is strength and presence and power, but that doesn't always mean that our softness is what's expected, okay? There's so much more, and I think that Cortney explains it so well in her video, because there is also something called sacred rage, and we're going to get to that in later weeks. So let me get my sister's. So first of all, let's go to, I'll show you real quick here. Okay. Oh, this is the journal that you can go to my sister's coffee shop, and she has free, I just think it says free things, maybe. I can't remember. But if you go to her coffee shop, you can get this, and you download that, and you've got the Divine Feminine. I think maybe I need to turn my brightness up a little bit. Let me do that real quick. Yes, that's much better. So, and you will get the Divine Feminine Digital Companion. These are the social media links. I think that's Cortney's. There's 2 Facebook links, and of course my sister's. And then you've got week 1, which, wow, the graphics are just absolutely gorgeous. Week 2, week 3, and week 4. So, and here, I think I put it in the, Okay, so I had to take a moment and go back to Cortney's video. And with that, I was reminded of, you know, first of all, please watch that, which I'm sure most of you already have. But, you know, she asked, what does the divine feminine mean to you? And even before, you know, I do my spread, you know, I talked about a short description, you know, of what the divine feminine is, possibly universally, you know what I mean? But to me, it is everything, and she said it in her video, it's everything that goes into that creation. Because we are creators, and that is it always coming from a place of light? No, because sometimes it is coming from a place of darkness, which means, but we're still creating, right? Every minute, every second, we're creating something, and that's the divine feminine. So I mean, whew, I got goosebumps listening to it, because I mean, anytime Cortney talks about the divine feminine, and she's been doing her 13 months, 13 keys, I think 13 keys, 13, but it's around the goddesses, you know. So I mean, I feel like she understands it more than anyone that I know. And she even made the reference, like, what is a flower without the sun? You know what I mean? So that's the power. That is it. That's what we are. That's what we bring. And that's the divine feminine, you know? So it's like understanding where we are is so important. And it's like, it doesn't, you know, we are all of them things, whether it's darkness, we're dark and light, you know what I mean? But we're all of those things, and we're always within a degree of one or the other. So it means, but we're creating from that place. And I think that's what a true artist is. They create from the place that they're at. And that's what makes it so freaking beautiful, because that's the true reflection. And you put that into the world, and, you know, someone else is going to feel that with you when you create from that place. You're sharing that, and it can be a way of, you know, releasing it, or it can be a way to understand it by turning it into something that you can actually look at and feel, you know, I mean, but going through that dark place is so important. I guess I really should get to the reading, huh? Because I gotta take my grandbaby to school. So yeah, let's see. These are the decks that I picked. That's the Oracle. This is Tarot. And these are Oracles. So I'm gonna pick, this is the other one that I went through. Dreams of Gaia. And I feel like, you know, obviously Mother Earth. So she was another one that I thought would be great. And there's also Aphrodite. Aphrodite, Venus, you know, she has a dark side too. We all do. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole point. I think these two are going to look really good together. There we go. There's the aesthetics I'm going for, right? Yeah. So let's do this. I've been eyeballing this one for a while. I've seen it on all of your guys' channels. I thought, I don't know how many times I tell you it's going to go in my cart, and I just sit on it because I am waiting for the right moment, for the right dollar amount in my savings. That says, yep, go ahead and click. But, you know, I still have a choice to make when it's in my cart. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. So, I'm going to make sure all of these are shuffled really good. But I'm going to do that off camera. All right. So these are pretty good and shuffled. So this one was the Divine Feminine by Megan Watterson, and this was one that came from my sister. So, I'm going to use the oracle to ask, what does Divine Feminine mean to me? And I also want to take a minute and reiterate that, myself, I've always been on a spiritual journey. There have been times that I put myself in the box of religion, and that was based on the Christian doctrine, which there's many different Christian religions, but it was, vaguely all Christian. And before coming to this community, even though I had given up religion, there was a lot of things I was still indoctrined into without actually understanding that I was. So I was still deconstructing, Coming to this community, I did not even understand hermetics. That was something that I was reading about, but I was not applying it. Okay, so to me, I can read and get all the knowledge, but unless I'm actually applying it, it makes no sense. I'm not retaining it. So it took the actual application of all of these things that I've been reading for years to actually understand. And it actually was coming to this community. And I have to think, because I know my squirrel, I jump around in my sentences, but, I come to this community of people that love tarot, and then the Sunshine Witch creates this tag about neo-paganism, and I'm brought together with all these witches, and it's like, it really wasn't until then that I started learning about what it truly means to have Divine Feminine, not to have it, to recognize it. And to this day, I am still learning and understanding aspects of myself, because I see it, I mirror it, I project it out into the world, right? And believe me, in this community, it gets mirrored back. All right. I wasn't asking the question yet. Yeah, but that's cool, right? Okay. So what does Divine Feminine mean to me? We're going to take the first one. Okay. I think that is, wow, yeah. I have a steel-like faith in myself. The angels armor me with conviction. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Joan of Arc. So let's look in the, there we go. Joan of Arc, page 9. Right. I think I know who Joan of Arc is. Joan of Arc represents the power that we all possess when we're aligned with our calling. She is a legendary heroine in France for her role in the 100 Years' War. She was born in 1412 in Domremy, France. And at the age of 13, she had a vision that would change the course of her life. She relates years later in transcripts from her trial, after being captured by the English, that she would have preferred to stay in her hometown spinning wool, but the power of her vision and her belief in the truth of it compelled her to follow the voice she heard within her. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the vision was of Archangel Michael, accompanied by other angels. She said, I saw them with my bodily eyes as well as I'm seeing you, and when they left, I wept. The Archangel Michael told her that she was meant to drive out the English from France. Dressed in men's armor, Joan of Arc led several campaigns against the English and became a symbol of hope. The power of her interruptions. It's actually been 2 hours because, yeah, I had to take baby girl to school. So, the power of her conviction that she was acting on God's behalf shifted the tenor of the war in France's favor. I just got to interject. You know what's really interesting about this? Okay, probably for a whole new video, but time. Time has no relevance, right? Because I'm continuing 2 hours later, but for you, nothing happened. So even if I watch this back, when I'm put back into the moment, that's when it is existing, right? That I am existing in that moment. So every moment, when we think about that phrase, the time is now, that's what that means, right? If we live in the past, we're still, that means that that time is now. So we're bringing that past to the now. And if we live there, we're living everything that we experienced in that moment in the now. That's what it means to, and so, yeah, anyway, okay. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know if I'll keep that in or if I'll edit it out. But anyway. So she was captured in May of 1430 and taken to Rouen, which was then under English rule. A hearsay trial led by Bishop Cochan charged her with a repeat offense of cross-dressing. She was condemned and sentenced to death in May of 1431. Oh my gosh, what does that remind you of? And we know why she did it, right? Oh my goodness. Okay, so, 25 years later, her mother, Isabel Romay, among others, demanded a retrial. 25 years later. 115 witnesses were called to testify on Joan's defense. She was declared innocent in 1456. And Pope Benedict the 15th canonized her in May of 1920. God, that makes me sad. It fucking makes me sad. I mean, I'm glad, but okay. So when your soul selects her card during Joan of Arc's heresy trial, her interrogators asked her if she was in a state of grace. She answered, "If I am not, may God put me there. And if I am, may God keep me. May God so keep me." Her unfaltering faith in the truth of her own visions made the impossible possible. As a teenager, she led an army that changed the course of history for France. And because the trials, we have sworn testimony detailing the courage of her convictions and her own testimony about her visions of the Archangel Michael, who inspired the course of her actions. Act, and God will act, she said. The faith she had in her vision allowed her to take on a task that had never been done before by a young woman. Her every action chanted, "I am not afraid. I was born to do this." She is associated with the flower de lis, known as the flower of light. Wow. It represents the Trinity, the profound truth that the Trinity would not exist without Mary, and her brave response to the angel Gabriel's call. Joan, like Mary, knows she is directly connected to the divine from within her, and she allows that connection to guide her. Joan of Arc's life is a testament to what is possible for us when we believe steadfastly in our own vision. See, she asks for us to move beyond our fear, to act on our truth, and do this with the confidence of knowing that our every step is flanked with angels. Wow. So the soul voice meditation. What is the most powerful vision for my life? An intention. I have a still-like faith in myself. The angels armor me with conviction. No matter what we believe, and what did I say at the beginning about deconstructing from Christianity? Because I am still in the process of that. And what I mean by that is, you know, I am so attracted to the old scripture. So inevitably that led me to the Sumerian tablets. Some might say, well, how in the heck is that possible? Well, it's because it's about our history. It's about understanding where we come from. And I ask myself these questions because of my experiences as a child and the experiences I have today. You know, let's just say that the supernatural to me represents everything that is divine. And divinity has a light and dark. To me, it's like Star Wars. It's like the Force. You know, it's the spirit, and the spirit is what lies within us. And I believe that it is feminine. I believe that it's she. Wow. And so, you know, Joan of Arc was very much invested in her truth because of everything that she was. That I feel that. And I think that, you know, I respect that for you. And I believe that for me. So anyway, wow. Okay, so what or how do I experience this energy? So let's ask these, the Tarot of Aphrodite. How do I experience this energy? Oops. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to keep them both. All right, so the Nine of Wands and the Three of Coins, and the question is how do I experience this energy? So if I am being completely honest, I feel like this has always been a motivator. You know what I mean? I'm always one that is thinking about what's next. I've always been that. Sometimes it's caused me to worry, and sometimes it's caused great manifesting ability. Now, this is me by myself. This is me with others. So how do I experience this energy? This is what I bring when I am working with others. So it's like I'm either the voice of reason, or I'm saying, but have we thought about this? You know what I mean? I'm guiding other people because of, you know what I mean? I am that person. I'm always that voice, and I know this. I'm a bit of a matriarch in my family. I am a matriarch in my family. You know, with my daughters, with Bob, you know, even my friends, they come to me, and they just, not always do I give advice if it's not asked for, but if it's asked for, which usually it is, I feel like that's it. That's what I'm bringing to the table. And sometimes it causes me to have worry also. So, I mean, there's still a light and dark in that too, that always needs balance. So I experience that energy in this way. It doesn't mean that I experience it in the best way every single time. It just means that that is how I experience it. I do this. I prepare for everything. You know, and sometimes a little bit too much. So it has its great things that it does, and then it also has a shadow aspect where it causes me to worry. But then when I'm when I am in balance, when I am in balance, then I am able to guide. But either way, that's what I'm doing all the time. And it's just like, when I'm talking about being a death doula, I've only experienced that one time, but it was such a profound experience for me. And I just stepped up. And did that for my ex-husband. And it's because, obviously now looking back, I realized that the divine feminine was like, that's why you're here. And I listened. So, in what ways do I suppress this? Ooh, this should be good, right? In what ways do I suppress this? 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 Now that. Well, okay. Now, if I use my intuition with this card, okay, everything that I see here is everything that I have been and that I still am. He's taking in this sacred text. He's learning it. He's studying it. Now, in the Rider-Waite-Smith, he's actually teaching it, right? Here, he is studying it. So, in what ways do I suppress this? By not letting that guidance, that knowledge, by not applying it. So if it's just an intake of knowledge, and this is just something that has really called upon myself to be understood. You know what I mean? It's my higher self. It's like, you really need to understand this, Carly. You've got your nose in every book, but have you applied it? Because nothing is retained or becomes wisdom until you've actually applied it and learned from it. Then, and so this is what I'm really working on. It's like, oh, sure, I can say all the right things and be like, yes, I think this is how, I think this is how we should live, and it starts with me, right? But saying all the right things really means nothing until you apply it. And I am a work in progress every day. So in what ways do I suppress this? By not applying the things that I know to my own accountability. And granted, I have done a lot of that lately and over the last couple of years, but I'm still a work in progress. So I could see that this is accurate because I still fall short sometimes. You know what I mean? It's when I'm not self-reflecting and understanding that I have a part that I play in it. Even if I'm neutral, it's still, I chose to play that part. And I can't do anything about anyone else's part in any story that's happening in my life. I can only be accountable for my own. Okay, so the next question. How do I manifest these divine feminine traits? How do I manifest these divine feminine traits? How do I manifest these divine feminine traits? I'm just going to take the top one. That's a lot. Yeah. And we still saw the king and the moon. This is a definite. The Queen of Cups. Yes. I remember taking the Myers-Briggs, and at the very first I was an INFJ. And then I got into palmistry and realized, oh boy, I'm probably more of a Queen of Wands. But, which I forget what that is in the Myers-Briggs. But, I really got into studying about the Myers-Briggs and the personality and archetyping and all that. palmistry really led me down a path of discovery with Carl Jung. And so, like, again, understanding who I am, knowing myself. I have Queen of Cups energy that is very much comes out in even my mundane moments. When I say mundane, I just mean where I am not focusing on anything spiritual, but I am going through the motions every day. That's through my nurturing. It's through, if my intuition says, Carla, don't do this, or Carla, you need to do this, I listen, and I do that more than I ever have. So just like when I told you, when I was there helping my ex-husband cross over, I did take the lead on that. And it is because I knew that he needed me to do that. And there's other moments like that too. All the time, actually. So, I mean, I think that she's very psychic. I mean, look at the way she's gazing into the bowl. I mean, she sees something. She sees a lot. And it's that knowing. Wow. So, yeah, I don't think I need to read anymore. That was my oldest. Every time I head over there, she's like, Mom, can you stop and pick up all this stuff before you go pick up kids? So, yeah, so stopping at the store. And that is why my videos are always edited, because about 5 minutes in, somebody is messaging me. So I'm like, whoop, let's start over. Well, not start over, but you know what I mean. Edit that out. So I need to put my mind back where I was. And yes. So this was a very, very good reading. And it said a lot. So I just want to say thank you, Cortney, and Rachele, because I feel like this is going to be another one of those months where we're really getting real with ourselves, like the self-love thing. And I think that this really very closely related to loving ourselves and understanding that, we are light and dark. And it's, that's just who we are. And I mean, to deny that is a great injustice to ourselves, to deny that we have both of those, and we create, we everything we do is from that place. So I've always been that person that is prepared. That is for sure. But having some clarification on what it is that is my motivator, that is who I am, that is, I believe, very much a part of God. You know what I mean? It's we have our consciousness and then we have the spirit. I think that they go together. So that is it. Thank you so much for being here. And wow, this was amazing. I'm looking forward to everyone else's, and I will see you in the next one. And I love you.